Madam, shall we start now?
Yes, sir. Okay. So, good evening, all. Once again, I welcome you all in this 1 week FDP program on NEP 2020, a sustaining change in our organizations. Nowadays, the organizations are increasingly focusing on their employees, especially on their happiness, because it proves the organization which having the happier employees are more profitable and more effectively give the output than the organization with the unhappy employees. If we are ready to want the sustainable change in our education system, then it becomes our first priority of work to do the work on a happiness at a workplace. And on this topic, to talk with us today with us two eminent speaker. In that, the first one is Mr. Rajan Sawant sir. Mr. Rajan Sawant serves as a Deputy Director of the Bhai Academy. He has been actively associated with the field of administration and education since 1997. He also serves as an honorary member of the Board of Directors of New Era Foundation, an international educational organization that runs a teacher training center focused on empowering the young people in the rural areas. He also served as the head of the foundation of New Era School and Junior College of Bhai inspired international co-educational residential school of recognized repute. Mr. Sawant also has a member of the Continental Board of the Counselor in Asia, assisting the communities in a rural and urban setting in a community building the initiative focusing on the informal education across the India. So this is a very crispy and a brief biodata of this, sir. I welcome you, sir, in this 1 week faculty development program. I request the service, sir, please present a floral bouquet. It's just a virtual bouquet, sir. Please accept it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. With sir, today with us another eminent speaker, the Dr. Suchitra Godbole. Ma'am, ma'am has a microbiologist from Nagpur University. She has also an MBA in human resource management. She has a professional experience 27 years in academics and R&D, which include 10 years service in R&D, working in a National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, which is one of the leading institute of CSIR. Also, she has associate 16 years experience in academics, including the different reputed institutes of Maharashtra. Presently, she is served with the Bhai Academy as a faculty member and research coordinator. She is involved in various research activities of the academy. She has worked as a resource person for the various faculty development program and has been actively involved in designing the online curriculum for the ability, skill, and healthy attitude amongst the PG student and Triple M course, that is Me, My World, and My Mission for the UG student. And these both courses are approved by the Shivaji University Kolhapur. She also visited the National University of Singapore, Malaysia University of Science and Technology for R&D and for the academic tie-up. She has published 30 research papers in international journals with maximum impact factor of 8. She has also 6 books in her credit. Over 40 paper she has presented in a national and international conference. So two eminent speakers with us for guide us after how to create the happiness at a workplace, and which is a very important topic if we want the sustainable change in our education system. So here I request the service, sir, please welcome the Suchitra ma'am with floral bouquet. Please accept it, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much.
And now the dais is yours. Now you start your session. I request you to please start your session.
Yes, sure, madam. Just give us a second to share the presentation and we'll start. Just one.
Yes, ma'am.
We are truly honored to be part of this FDP in collaboration with the Karad Pharmacy College. And we actually have the honor and privilege of working with the Karad Pharmacy College for the last several years. We have had collaborations of different nature. And today, being a part of this AICTE sponsored 1 week Atal FDP, we are very happy to be here and to be able to share with you some thoughts about happiness at workplace. As you all know, the Baha'i Academy, situated in Panchgani, is a recognized institution of Shivaji University in Kolhapur. And so we would, the Academy has had, since its inception, it has had collaborative activities with a number of valued and reputed universities and institutions in the area of higher academics in India. Among them, the Baha'i Academy has prominent and very active collaboration with Shivaji University in Kolhapur, YCMOU in Nasik, SSPU, that is the Savitribai Phule Pune University in Pune, Mumbai University, HRDC Center in Pune, D2 Lonere, that is the Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technical University, the Multi-University in Pune, and of course, Yashada, which has been one of our prominent collaborators. The Baha'i Academy is also enjoys international collaboration with several institutions of repute around the world. The Fundaik University in Colombia, the Association for Creative Moral Education in Russia, the Institute of Organization Psychological Medicine in Australia, Westminster College, USA, International Bioethics and Human Rights Program, and International Environment Forum in Geneva. So friends, at the start, I would like to take this opportunity to convey our appreciation to Dr. Burade, who we met recently and invited us actually to this program. We are also thankful to our FDP coordinator, Dr. Dias, who has been instrumental in organizing this event and helping us with many of those technical issues. And of course, Dr. Shweta Tapadia, who has extended such a warm welcome to us. So we begin with this slide, the AICTE document on holistic value-based education for realizing the aspirations in NEP 2020. This is a very prominent document, and of course, all of us are aware of it. It refers to the National Education Policy 2020, stating that education is fundamental for achieving full human potential, developing an equitable and just society, and promoting national development. Yes, but if we are to do this, and this is what the aspiration of that document is and of the National Education Policy, this necessitates sustaining changes in the organizations. It's only when there are meaningful organizational changes, this will be possible. And again, if we require sustainable changes in the organization, this requires excellence in leadership. Now, leadership in an organization or institution includes not only those who head the institution, but every member of the teaching and non-teaching workforce. So the entire staff and faculty all put together are actually part of the leadership of an organization. Now, we know that excellence in leadership is required for sustaining changes in the organization, but equally important is the work culture and the workplace environment, because it is this environment that drives the organization forward. It drives the programs and activities of the organization. In this context, happiness at workplace is a prime requisite. Of course, as we know, such an environment is one where every individual faculty member will need to contribute in cultivating such an environment. Now, if you look at the words, this environment is not something that happens on its own, but it needs to be cultivated. It's just like how we cultivate crops, right? We have to prepare the grounds, we have to do the sowing, the seeds, weeding, and we have to patiently work on it till we get a good harvest. So happiness at workplace needs to be cultivated. Now, in such an environment, not only do individuals thrive and prosper in such empowering conditions, but there is a collective upsurge in performance, productivity, and efficiency. So there is a direct link between happiness at workplace to the increase in performance, productivity, and efficiency. Every aspect of the work of an organization is positively impacted by this environment, which is happiness at workplace. And this leads to healthy interpersonal relationships, cooperation, and creativity. Now, these are all the elements that make up this environment and happiness at workplace. Now, what happens when we are happy, right? So when we are in a happy environment, naturally, that happiness gives us wings. We are joyful. When we are joyful, our strength is multiplied, is amplified. Our intellect becomes sharper and our understanding becomes more clear. We are better equipped to face challenges, difficulties, and sorrows. So we need to strive to be happy. And naturally, when we contribute to happiness at workplace, it not only makes that environment very joyful, but we also become very happy, positive, and joyful. When we look at certain statistics, the next slide, if you can, there is something very interesting here. This is based on data where it says everybody wants to be happy at workplace. And research shows that happy employees are 12% more productive than their happy counterparts, and suggests that happier people may live longer and healthier lives. Right? So there is this small graphic here which says, what does happiness at work bring? So there's 180% more energy, 150% more happiness at workplace. If you're happy at workplace, overall, you are 150% happier with life. 100%, you are more engaged, you are more productive, you are active, you are more motivated and more productive. Now, this is, as we know, many of us have experienced in our own careers and in our lives that there are phases in our life when we are very happy. And in those, it is during those phases where we see we are endowed with tremendous energy and creativity. So we look at what happens when we are happy. Individuals and institutions grow and flourish in an environment of joy and happiness. So when we say grow, means we grow intellectually, we grow socially, we have more friends, we become more connected, we become more outward oriented, and of course we grow emotionally, we become more concerned about the world around us, and we flourish in such an environment. But then, how does this joy and happiness come about? Is it something which happens on its own? No. This requires persistent and conscientious efforts individually and collectively. Now, what does persistent mean? Right? It means determined efforts, continuous efforts, persistent. And conscientious means something that is morally correct, right? So it requires efforts that are persistent and conscientious. And these efforts need to be done individually as well as collectively, right? The next point, remarkable growth and holistic development is possible when institutions and those who serve it, which is the members of the faculty, are motivated by an empowering and united vision. So, what really motivates us? And what is that empowering vision that binds us together? Because as we read in the previous point, that we cannot be happy in an unhappy environment. And if we are unhappy, we cannot contribute to a happy environment, which means these efforts have to be two-way, individually and collectively. So we need to be motivated as individuals, and we need to have a collective, shared, united vision. Now, so this brings us to one of the first elements of happiness at workplace, right? Throughout this presentation, dear friends, we are going to identify those key elements that are necessary for creating and cultivating an environment of happiness at workplace. Now, when we say workplace, this also applies to our family life. This also applies to the neighborhood and community we live in. So the first element is motivation, as we discussed in the previous point, right? That we need to be motivated. Motivation is an internal driving force. You know, every car has an engine in it, and it is that engine that drives the car. It takes the passengers from one place to another. So what drives us as individually? It is motivation, which is the internal driving force, and it generates the noblest of sentiments. What are these noble sentiments and emotions that it generates? It generates enthusiasm. Motivation generates positivity. It gives us strength to persevere. It gives us courage, strength, and fortitude, right? Fortitude means to remain strong in difficult, harsh, and painful conditions. That is fortitude. So you see, if you have motivation, if you are a self-motivated individual, then you have all these qualities and attitudes, which are so necessary. Self-motivated individuals are a great source to any organization. They are a great resource to any organization. They are an asset to an organization because they influence and change the workplace environment with their exuberance and panache, right? Exuberance is excitement, energy, positivity, right? And of course, panache is your lifestyle, right? So the source, what is the source of this motivation? The source of this enduring internal motivation is a higher purpose of life that finds expression in efforts towards the well-being and progress of all. So friends, there is internal motivation and there is external motivation. External motivation is temporary. This is the third point. And usually fades away when the attraction to a certain thing or situation diminishes, right? For example, the external motivation can be a very glamorous pay package. External motivation can be, position. It can be, it's usually a lot of material things, but this external motivation is temporary, right? But it is the internal, enduring, long-lasting motivation that is what we need to look for. And that motivation comes when we strive, when we make efforts towards the well-being of not only me and my family, but also the well-being and progress of those around me. Now, there is a question here. Can you identify the source of your internal motivation? Friends, we'll give you just a minute and you can put your answers in the chat box. Can you identify your source of internal motivation? What is it that motivates you? Okay, please go ahead. You can quickly type in the chat box. What is it that motivates you? I'm sure all of you are self-motivated individuals. What is the source of your internal motivation? Okay, we have started receiving your feedback. Dr. Bhosle says a goal. I'm sure it must be a goal that is your ambition in life. Understanding basic aspiration and self-exploration. Yes, self-exploration, we can call it self-actualization, where you discover your own potential and put it to the right use. Job satisfaction is a motivation. Yes, you're happy. You know, when we are happy with what we do. Yes, Mrs. Shubhangi has written job satisfaction. Dr. Parvatam has written self-satisfaction. Yes.
पाटिल मैडम अपना माइक्रोफोन ऑन है.
Okay, friend. So as you can see, a number of those present today have mentioned the source of their internal motivation. Friends, this is very important for us to discover that source, because that will keep us motivated in the most difficult of situations, and it will give us all those qualities like enthusiasm, positivity, perseverance, courage, strength, and fortitude to contribute to that environment. Yes. So friends, we are going to share with you a short story here, and we are going to later on analyze this story, right? All of you can, I'm sure, hear us very clearly. So the story is on your screen. Once a wise man was traveling on foot from a village to the town. As he approached the town, he was surprised to see an unusually large number of laborers working in the intense summer heat on a hill on the outskirts. He was amazed by the scale of the work and was now curious to know what they were doing. The wise man impatiently approached the very first worker he saw by the roadside and asked him, "Friend, what is going on and what is happening here?" The amused worker replied, "You seem to be a learned man, but can't you make out what I am doing? I am destined to break stones. Mere naseeb mein patthar phodna likha hai, and I'm just doing that. I break stones to fill my stomach." The reply did not help the wise man to know what was happening on the hillside. He was disappointed and continued to walk further. The wise man then approached another worker and asked him the same question. And the frustrated worker answered, "Dear friend, I have to work to earn some money to support the needs of my family. I have children, but this is hard work and I don't find happiness. It is so hot and so harsh, but I have to do it anyway." The wise man was again disappointed, as this worker too had no idea of the project that was going on the hillside. The wise man then walked further along the road and questioned another worker who seemed to be doing the same kind of work that all the others were doing. They were all chipping stones. The reply that the wise man received from this worker was surely more informative. The worker explained, "We are not just chipping stones. In fact, we are giving them certain shape and placing them together to build a boundary wall. So that is it." Well, the wise man was now more informed, but the laborer's knowledge and explanation was not enough to help him understand what the purpose of such a large compound wall could be. So finally, the wise man saw an old and fragile worker and observed him closely with great admiration. Despite the heat and hardship, this aged worker kept working sincerely and uninterruptedly. He seemed to have no time to complain about the harsh conditions. He was surely giving much more and beyond his physical capacity. The wise man asked him the same question. Shriman, what are you doing? Are you also breaking and chipping stones like all others? There must be some purpose. The old man replied with bright eyes and a radiant smile. Yes, I am chipping stone and cutting it to a certain size to be used in building not only this large compound wall, but, my dear friend, from behind this wall will soon emerge. But my friend, from behind this wall will soon emerge a magnificent, majestic temple of learning. Its light of knowledge will illuminate this entire region and will be the cause of true progress and prosperity for our people. Its gates will open wide to welcome the future builders of our nation and the healers of humanity. Dr. Suchitra, can you click once more? No, go back and click, please. Go. Yes. Go back and click once again. Okay. Yes, click. Once more. I am honored and privileged to contribute in my own humble way. This is what the old man said. Though it may be just chipping stones, I'm contributing to the creation of this mighty and stupendous institution. My love for this work is worth all the pain and hardship. The wise man was speechless. So friends, here the old man, he says he was also, like all others, he was also chipping stones. But he said that he is honored and privileged to contribute to the building of this temple of learning. Though it may be just chipping stones, but he finds that honor in contributing to the creation of this mighty and stupendous institution. And he says, the love for his work is worth all the pain and hardship. Yes. So let us analyze this thought-provoking and inspiring story. Friends, you can, of course, put in your remarks in the chat box. The questions are, the first question, all the laborers were doing similar work in difficult conditions. What made them think differently of their work? What was different? Why was the thinking of the first, second, third, and fourth workers different? Yes, can you put it? Okay, attitude, wonderful. We've started receiving. Dr. Hemant says, attitude. Yes. So attitude plays an important role, right? Loyalty. Loyalty to what? So as we see here, right? Perception. Now this is what is important. Perception. Perception of what we are doing. Why are we doing this? What is my job going to do? It may seem to be a very small job, a small task, but state of mind. Yes, for the first one, it was survival for the first worker. But for the last worker, it was perception. It was awareness, passion. Beautiful, friends. I mean, you have analyzed it very correctly. Let's go to the next question. What factors bring value and satisfaction to the work we do? What factors bring value and satisfaction to the work we do? Right? Now, all of us want to, yes. If you can put it in the chat box. Yes, your involvement is very important for us to move forward. Contribution to the society. Yes. So of course we do work for our own individual growth to support our families. But when our work is enriched with the perception of contributing to the well-being of society, then it becomes a source of motivation. It becomes a source of satisfaction, because we realize that we are contributing to the well-being of society. Yes. Hard work for development. Yes, all of us need to work hard, but satisfaction is equally important. Now, name the essential qualities and attitudes that make our work joyful. So what makes our work joyful? There are certain qualities and attitudes, right? So now, sometimes people may have very handsome salaries and great positions, but they may not be happy and joyful. Why does that happen? It clearly means that happiness and joy are internal conditions, right? And they are possible through a higher vision. So there's one more question for us to think. What contributes to true happiness? A narrow and limited vision of our work and needs, or finding joy in service to others and in their progress, right? So we have a few more chat box replies that have come in. There's happiness, there's perception, there's clear vision, there's hard work, there's inner satisfaction, right? So friends, we go to the next slide. Of course, all these questions we made today, we don't have the time to analyze in detail these questions, but we can continue to reflect on them. Joy in service to others. Of course, Dr. Bhosle has written joy in service to others. So here, there's a beautiful quotation from the Baha'i Academy's course on fostering personal development. It says, success may not be the key to happiness. Happiness can lead the way to success. And when we love what we are doing, we will eventually become successful. So there is a connection between happiness and success, and the love that we have for what we do, for our profession, right? For what we have chosen. This is a path we have chosen for our own individual growth and for contributing to the development and progress of society. So friends, yes, now Dr. Godbole will take this forward.
Yeah, so we are discussing this beautiful quotation after we have discussed such an inspiring story and analyzed the various aspects which bring the happiness. This is a very beautiful quote. Success may not be the key to happiness. Happiness can lead the way to success. And when we really love what we are doing, we will eventually become successful. So dear friends, actually, whenever we are happy, it brings out the best in all of us. And when we are joyful and happy, people want to work with us, and which eventually can bring success. But it doesn't necessarily guarantee that we are successful, we will be happy. So we actually tend to believe that our achievements will inevitably make us happier. But research has shown that happiness is the precursor to success and not vice versa. So let's move ahead. Here there is a question for all of us. What is your understanding of true happiness? So when we say every one of us, every individual actually strives for happiness. And it is the longing of every heart, every family, every organization and society that whatever we are doing, we actually do it for our happiness. And basically at our workplace, we almost spend a significant part of our life in our workplace. we hope to grow intellectually, professionally, and materially, and achieve higher and higher levels of success and happiness. So basically, we should really try to understand that what is the factor or what brings true happiness. What are those factors which can really get us enduring happiness? So we'll ask few questions to ourselves. Yeah. So here is a poll question for all of us. First, we will try to understand what are the major reasons of unhappiness at workplace. Options are poor workplace relationships, unhealthy competition, being over possessive of our work domain, then lack of joy and interest in work, unfavorable environment for personal growth, lack of cleanliness, orderliness, and beauty at the workplace, and loose talk, backbiting, and gossiping. These are the various options, and you can select multiple options also. So I would request you to put your answers in this poll question. Yeah, so we are quickly getting the answers, and it will be a very interesting finding.
Friends, we request everyone to be a part of this poll. Only 14 out of the 84 have taken part. Okay, it's going up. Very good. We'll give you another 30 seconds.
Okay. Next.
Can we go to the next poll?
Yeah. So I think both the poll have been placed simultaneously. So the next poll question is, after we have discussed about the factors for unhappiness at workplace, the another question is, what do you think are the factors that contribute to happiness at workplace? And these various factors which have been identified here, a sense of higher and noble purpose, an empowering vision, a sense of belongingness with the colleagues, mutual respect and appreciation for all, spirit of cooperation and generosity, a clean, aesthetic, and beautiful environment, and the opportunity to grow professionally and as a complete human being, and always striving for excellence. So these are some of the options which might lead to, there will be many more, but then you can respond, send your responses to these options. You can select multiple options as well. So I think, yeah, few of the participants have given the options for the second poll also. So we'll just have 20 seconds more to complete the poll, both the polls, and then we will quickly analyze the results.
Okay, we can
Okay.
conclude the polls here, right? And we can
Yes, we can.
request for the analysis. Yes.
Yes. So for the first poll, where we were discussing about the reasons, major reasons for unhappiness at workplace, the maximum response that we have got is 65% of the participants have voted. That is unhealthy competition. And also 65% have voted for unfavorable environment for personal growth. And at the same time, we see that poor workplace relationship, lack of cleanliness and loose talk, backbiting and gossiping comes next, 53%. So these are the various factors which contribute to the unhappiness at work. And then coming to what are the factors which make us happy at workplace. So here, maximum, we have got 70% voters have voted for opportunity to grow professionally and as a complete human being. And which is followed by a sense of belongingness, an empowering vision, having an empowering vision, and a clean, aesthetic, and beautiful environment, and a sense of higher and noble purpose. So, all these factors, if we think very deeply, can really contribute to our happiness at workplace. Thank you so much for your participation. And now I hand over to Sawant sir to take the discussion further.
Thank you very much, Doctor. So, yes, we have seen the poll results. Long-term happiness depends upon a person's lofty vision and higher purpose in life, right? Most of the participants were very clear that we need to have a higher purpose in life. At the heart of this is the process of continuous enhancement of our own character, of striving for excellence in whatever we do, and meaningful service to the well-being of society. So there are these three conditions: enhancement of own character, striving for excellence, and meaningful service to society. So this is actually the dual purpose of our life, right? That we grow as human beings and we contribute to the transformation of society. Now, when we have such a perspective of life, then this refines that perspective we have of our workplace as well, of the society we live in, and the world we aspire to build for ourselves and for our future generations, right? It refines that perspective. And what happens when we have such a perspective? We rise above the irrationalities of prejudices and contribute to creating an environment of unity built on diversity. As we know, the greatest need for humanity today is unity, which is built on diversity. Humanity is trapped under a mesh of prejudices. And like a beautiful bird, which is meant to fly high and enjoy the beauty of the vast sky, the bird cannot fly because it is trapped under a net. Similarly, humanity cannot achieve its greatness if it is trapped under the net, the mesh of prejudices. And here, the entire universe is interconnected and works on the rule of interdependence. The human body offers an excellent example of diversity, interdependence, and unity. As we know, the human body consists of hundreds of various organs and parts. There are, the liver, the kidney, the brain, the glands, the bones. There are so many different parts in a body, so many organs. Each is different in size and shape. Each has a different function. Each is composed of different elements. But what happens is that the human body, each part contributes in its own way to the well-being of the entire body. And in result, when the body is healthy, it contributes to the well-being of individual parts. So, like the human body, we realize that there is interconnectedness, there is interdependence, there is that power of unity that governs our existence. So powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole world. Similarly, the world today, including our workplaces, can become the spaces for happiness if the element of unity built on diversity is taken into consideration. Yes. So we have a question here again. There are two questions which are based on unity. Though every individual is different, do you believe that each one of us is gifted with some degree of knowledge, talent, and capacity to contribute to the well-being of society and our workplace? Yes or no? Each one of us, no matter what our positions are, no matter what our backgrounds are, each one of us is gifted with some degree of knowledge, talent, and capacity, right? And we can contribute. Yes, we have received already a few answers, and it's a big yes from everybody, right? So we need to accept this uniqueness of every individual, right? Does an inclusive environment based on diversity of friends enrich our own life and enhance individual and collective growth, right? So when we have this inclusive environment where we accept diversity, does this enrich our own life and enhance our individual and collective growth? Yes, thank you, friends. Your answers are coming in rapidly. It's yes. So we go further now, right? So we know that happiness at workplace is largely dependent on acceptance of diversity, right? Yes, can we go to the next slide, please? How do I become a builder of unity? Accepting diversity and eliminating prejudices. We need to practice seeing the goodness in people and accepting them. Friends, there are different kinds of prejudices, and each one of us can very easily become victims of such prejudices. There are religious prejudices, there are prejudices on caste, race, gender, age, nationality, culture, disability. Even there are prejudices regarding our zodiac signs, about color. There is prejudice of you are from the village, I am from the city. There is prejudice about the kind of dresses we wear. So friends, we can easily become victims of these prejudices. And when our minds begin to see through the lens of prejudices, then all we receive is unhappiness. But then the opposite, when we practice the good, seeing the goodness, then we know more about people around us. We discover commonalities, paving the way for true friendships. Yes. So unity does not mean uniformity. We have to clarify this concept, right? Uniformity means, everyone does the same thing that I like, or I do it. No, unity does not mean uniformity. In fact, differences or diversity are built into the very idea of unity. It's like the musical notes of a beautiful composition. Each note is different. Each instrument makes a different sound. But when they work together, there is a beautiful harmony, a rhythm, and symphony that is produced. True self blossoms and grows in an atmosphere of unity. Yes. How do I become a builder of unity? Right now, this yes. Dr. Godbole, can you take us through the next few slides?
Yes, sure, sir. So there is another important aspect of creating the environment of unity, and me becoming a builder of unity is to avoid backbiting and gossip. Because we all know what is backbiting and gossip, but we just cannot prevent ourselves from indulging into that. But dear friends, the backbiting and gossip are such harmful habits that create serious obstacles in promoting an environment of unity, and this habit becomes the cause of disharmony, conflicts, and unhappiness at the workplace. And it's very much obvious that whenever people are engaging in backbiting and gossiping, it creates a very, very negative environment at our workplace. So each one of us should really take efforts to avoid talking ill of others in their absence, And equally harmful is listening to such talk also. Even if we are not speaking, we are not supposed to listen it also. If somebody wants or somebody starts gossip, we should immediately stop them to create a very, very friendly and positive atmosphere at our workplace. So we need to keep away from those who are habitual gossipers and such disempowering spaces. So this is a very important point to remember at workplaces. We should avoid them at any cost. So here are few statements I'll be saying. You just have to answer true or false to really understand this. So the first statement is, when we talk about someone's real fault, we are not backbiting. So according to you, is it true or false?
Please use the chat box, friends.
You can use the chat box, please.
True or false?
There are three questions here, and which relate to backbiting and gossiping. So we need to really, it is true. Okay. The next question is, when we talk about a person's praiseworthy qualities and his faults at the same time, we are not backbiting. Do you think we should praise at the same time, say something about his faults at the same time? Does it contribute to backbiting or no? And if the listener promises not to repeat what we say about another person, there is no harm in backbiting. Do you think it is true or false? Okay, false. Fine.
So,
Actually, yeah.
Dr. Godbole, it's
Yes.
very interesting because, we to contribute to happiness at workplace, we need to build this capacity to avoid backbiting. Now, what is backbiting is these three questions help us to understand. It says when we talk about someone's real fault, we are not backbiting, right? Backbiting is talking in the absence of somebody, right? Right. So it is false because we are actually backbiting, right? When we talk about somebody's
Yes, of
fault.
course.
So it is false, right? Now, the second question, when we talk about a person's good qualities, praiseworthy qualities, and also we talk about his faults, are we backbiting? Yes, it is backbiting because under the, the cover of talking about good qualities, we are also talking about bad qualities. So this is backbiting. And sometimes we say certain negative things about somebody in his absence to the listener, promising that he will not say it. But again, this is backbiting. So we have to be very careful that we don't become the source of such negative habit of backbiting.
Yes. So actually, we should not speak at the same time. We should not, if somebody is engaging into that, we should immediately stop it. So here I'll share a very beautiful quote which relates to backbiting. Backbiting quencheth the light of the heart and extinguisheth the life of the soul. So this is a very, very powerful quote, and we must all really should keep it in our mind that at any cost we have to avoid backbiting and gossip. So another very, very beautiful wise saying which I want to share here is, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. And watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So there is such a beautiful connection with all these. So everything begins with the thought. So if we have a very positive thoughts, that will lead to positive words. And those positive words will then translate into beautiful positive actions. So whenever we are saying about backbiting and other things, they are all the negative thoughts, the negative words. So we have to replace them with positive and encouraging thoughts, which will reflect in our words and our actions, our habits, which will eventually become our character and our destiny. Yes, sir. Moving ahead. I hand over the further session to Sawant, sir.
Yes. So friends, another prerequisite for happiness at workplace is striving for excellence. In the society we live in, there is an attitude called as chalta hai attitude, which means you do the work for the sake of doing work, right? You don't put your heart into it, right? There's lack of passion, there's lack of creativity, there's lack of excellence, right? But what we understand by striving for excellence means true progress and a refined character are possible through pure and beautiful thoughts, words, ideas, and actions, right? So naturally, progress and a refined character is possible through these pure and beautiful thoughts. Such beauty is the starting point of man's high destiny and the cause of true happiness. Striving for excellence in every aspect of our life, work, and relationships unlocks our inner powers and true potential. It means if I have been given a responsibility, how do I do it in the best way possible, right? At the family level, if I have become a husband, what does it mean to achieve excellence in being a husband, a father, a son? Similarly, as a teacher, what does it mean to achieve excellence? So this excellence is reflected in the purity and beauty of our thoughts, words, ideas, and action. The use of kind and encouraging words, a language of positivity and inclusivity, plays a great role in strengthening interpersonal relationships and happiness at workplace. Our language should be a language of encouragement, which will empower every student, which will empower our fellow workers. That is important. So striving for excellence. Now here are some questions. Let's go to the questions. Hatred, revenge, war, criticism, dominance, and betrayal are certainly impure and negative thoughts. Can you name few beautiful thoughts that should become the true identity of our workplace, right? How do we want our workplace to be known as, to be identified as, right? For example, when you go to a certain workplace, they say that these are very sincere workers. They are honest people, right? Sometimes you also hear this, that, oh, you are going to that office, they are lazy people, right? But what are those few beautiful thoughts that should become the true identity of our workplace? Can you put this in your chat box, please? Can you name a few beautiful thoughts? And it can be connected to the next question as well. Please identify a few beautiful actions that you will take to bring happiness at your workplace. Which one will be your priority? Yes, we started with a very beautiful word, teamwork. Dr. Dipti Ruhikar has said, teamwork is a beautiful thought. It is also a beautiful action. You build a team, you work together, you share knowledge, right? You share your strengths, cooperation and respect. These are beautiful thoughts. These are positive forces. Concern for one another. Absolutely. Coordination. Yes. Passion to complete the task given to you with excellence, with the best of your abilities. Can you identify a few beautiful actions that you will take to bring happiness at your workplace? Appreciation. Yes. Appreciating everyone. I mean, from the support staff to the highest, we need to be appreciative. Every individual acknowledges appreciation. Yes. Any other thoughts? Right evaluation of others. Yes, that's important, right? Right evaluation. We should not see them through prejudiced eyes, misconceived ideas about people. Okay, so friends, Yes, we should be impartial. We should praise good work. We should reward people for their honesty, for their sincerity. Wonderful. So this was a beautiful session. Okay, now we go to another one, which is another prerequisite for happiness at workplace is fostering the spirit of consultation and cooperation. So we saw motivation, unity, overcoming prejudices, striving for excellence. Now we are looking at the spirit of consultation. Why is consultation so important? Consultation is a powerful force that creates unity of thought and action. Every change we aspire to bring in our institution will need to be based on true consultation. Such consultation not only aims to find the truth and right decisions, but defines the best choice of action to be implemented. And friends, an institution's, a team's understanding can reach its maturity through proper consultation. So consultation is a powerful tool. It's a powerful force that unites us in action, and it unites us in our thoughts, right? To maintain unity, to bring happiness at workplace, you need unity. And to create unity, you need consultation, which is that instrument. Can we go further? So what are the fruits of true consultation? Friends, can you use your chat box? What are the fruits of true consult? When your consultation is in the right spirit, what are the positive outcomes? What are the fruits of true consultations? And there is another question attached to it. What qualities and attitudes are required to harvest these best fruits of consultation? Okay, so consultation should lead us to the right decision. Yes, it is a fruit, right decision. Excellent results, beautiful fruit of consultation. Achievements, we grow higher and higher. Wonderful. Amar Kulkarni, yes, Dr. Suryakant Bhosle says happiness. Yes, when you have true consultation, when you come out of the meeting chamber, you will be happy, you will be joyful. But if the consultation is not good, you will come out frustrated. Yes, you will see a greater degree of teamwork. There will be higher levels of inspiration. And of course, friends, what are some of those qualities and attitudes that are required? There's proper communication that is required. There's transparency that is needed. Of course. What other attitudes and qualities are needed for true consultation? Everybody should contribute and feel a part of it. There is involvement, engagement. We should have faith in our collective decisions. Sometimes those decisions may not be according to what I like, but we have to have faith in our collective decision making. So friends, the Baha'i Academy has a full module on consultation and cooperation. Now, we go to the other one. Yes, taking ownership is another requirement of successful consultation. So, it is not difficult to think of examples of competitive behavior within and among institutions. It is not difficult because we have seen in many institutions and organizations, there is competitive behavior. We see them contending for resources, recognition, dominance, and power. And in such an environment, the individuals, the faculty, they undermine one another's work. And in certain cases, switch allegiance at their own convenience. Today they are on this side, tomorrow they are on that side. What happens when there is such competitiveness? Such competitiveness gives rise to certain tendencies. And what are those tendencies? There is possessiveness. People feel threatened by others. There is a tendency to define a territory for oneself, to defend its boundaries, and to give in to the promptings of self-importance. This is what happens when there is competitiveness. In the earlier poll we conducted, friends, you remember, they said that that there was a maximum number of percentage for what are the factors that cause unhappiness at workplace, and it is competitiveness, right? So let's go further now. So courtesy, respect and reverence, dignity, respect for the rank and achievement of others are virtues which contribute to the harmony and well-being of every institution and community. Right? Now, these are the elements of true cooperation. You are courteous, there is respect, dignity for everyone. The spirit of cooperation enables every single individual in the organization to contribute to the collective goal in smaller or larger measure. And friends, we know this very well. And this has been proved in many scientific experiments as well. Cooperation generates synergy. And what is synergy? It is the combined power of a group when they are working together that is greater than the total power achieved by each individual working separately. Right? So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is not 8. In synergy, it will become 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, it will become 16 or maybe even 20 because it is synergy. So cooperation creates synergy. So friends, there is a question here. Has this session advanced our understanding of happiness at workplace and how it can be cultivated? You can list a few takeaways. Yes, use the chat box. So we had a session, we identified some of the elements that contribute to happiness at workplace. I'm sure both Dr. Godbole and myself, this was, to arrange in 1 hour was a bit challenging, but what are the takeaways? What do you think this session has given you? Use the chat box, please. And of course, with this, we will come to an end of our session, which was exactly 1 hour. Yes. You are welcome. You are encouraged to please use the chat box. What were the takeaways? Yes. What is it that gave you a new perspective through this discussion? What is it that is going to help you to contribute to happiness at workplace? Yes. So thank you for your response. There's teamwork, there's synergy. Yes. Cooperation and coordination is needed. Yes. Motivation, we should be motivated by a higher purpose. We should try to work as a team, foster cooperation. Yes. Not only are we self-motivated, but today's discussion was very clear that self-motivated individuals contribute greatly to creating happy environments at workplace and appreciation for others. Every individual is gifted and can contribute to creating happy workplaces. So, friends, here are some of the references, of course. These are from the Baha'i Academy's modules, different modules. And we have also used some sources on the internet to put this together. So on behalf of Dr. Godbole and myself and the Baha'i Academy, we would like to thank the Honorable Principal, Dr. Burade, FDP Coordinator, Dr. Dias, and all of you for being with us and allowing us to share these thoughts with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Really, by hearing the happiness, many times we really feel the very happy, and whatever the means you are presented, it's really very nice. You are very nicely present the importance of happiness at a workplace, and happiness at a workplace is a collective process, not an individual one can be do it. And very nicely you elaborate about the if you want the remarkable growth and holistic development of institute, it is a possible only when those who are serving it are motivated and by empowering and a united vision. Also, very clearly you explain what are the factors that affect the how to create the happiness at a workplace, that is appreciation, respect, encouragement, inclusive cooperation, teamwork, and the individual and professional relationship. These all factors give a rise to a culture of happiness at a workplace. So thank you very much, sir, and madam. You are very nicely explained, and we really feel the happy, and we really want to make it in a real key how to create the happiness at a workplace. I request. Yes, sir, it is just a small token of love. This is a appreciation certificate to Sawant sir. Sir, please accept it. It's a virtual certificate, but our love is behind that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And madam, thank you. You are sparing your valuable time with us and guide us. And really, we feel very nice to hear you. Thank you. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
It's certificate. Please accept this certificate of appreciation.
Thank you so much, madam. Thanks to organizers and
Thank you.
your participants. Have a
Thank
great
you very
day.
much. Now I request Dr. Dias sir, any announcement for participants, and if we.
Thank you, Sawant sir and Godbole madam, for your exhilarating session on happiness. So we are very much thankful to you. Dear participants, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we are going to start sharply. So join the session at 9:50 itself tomorrow. So we are ending the day with a happy note from a lecture or session on happiness from Bahi Academy. Thank you all. Thank you.